Hello, my loves. I am back today with another chat about body image and disordered eating and emotional eating and eating disorders awareness this week. And yesterday I came on and I just started talking about some of the symptoms of disordered eating and how disordered eating can lead to more serious eating issues. And it's really important for us to recognize within ourselves what's happening in our body so that we can actually course correct. And the sooner we can do that, the better that is for us. Because the longer we leave ourselves in patterns of disordered eating thoughts or disordered eating behaviors, the stronger the neural pathways form in our brain. And I see this with so many of my clients. They have been struggling with eating problems such as binge eating, such as emotional eating, such as anorexia and bulimia for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, just struggling year in and year out with these problems. So the sooner you can recognize within yourself that you might have something that you're concerned about, the sooner you can actually reach out for help, or you can get the help that you need to heal your relationship with food and body. And I'm not just talking on behalf of my clients. I actually, I was stuck in a love-hate relationship with food and my body for over 25 years. And for 13 of those years, I cycled through various cycles of emotional eating, which would lead to binge eating. Then I think just okay, I'm back on track. I just need to find maybe a different eating plan. Everything would seem okay for a few days or weeks, and eventually again I'd be back into these patterns of emotional eating and binge eating. And the stricter I got with my eating regimes, the more I exercised, the more I binged. And I couldn't understand the scenario. It didn't make sense in my head because I was following the recipe that was out in the world. It's you eat less and run more. And when you do these two things, you will no longer have cravings. You will be able to have all the willpower. You will be able to have the body that you want. You'll be able to just feel confident, and you'll be happy. Like so many of our diet industry messages nowadays is all about you need to be a certain size in order to achieve happiness. And we know for a fact that, and I know for a fact that that is not true. And the reason why I know that is because my disordered eating behaviors and patterns led me to the smallest sizes that I could possibly get to, and I was still not happy. There was always something else, or the scale would shift by like 200 grams and I would lose it, and for me that was just more triggering than anything else. So today I really wanted to just lean into body image. And I feel like every single person I know, male or female, we all struggle with body image challenges some other time in our life. And maybe this talk is especially for you today. I just wanted to hop on here and just talk a little bit about body image and maybe just a few things that you can do to support yourself. And myself, I actually started hating my body at the age of 12. At the age of 13, I started smoking cigarettes because I read in a fashion magazine that will keep me skinny and it will suppress my appetite. All right? And that is where my patterns of disordered eating started. Not just with the smoking, that was one of my almost methods of purging, if you would like, or just methods for making up for eating. So I remember actually whenever I had a chocolate as a teenager, I would go and have a cigarette afterwards. And that's not a healthy way to be. Like, I'm not advocating that you try this for yourself. There's a lot to be said about the placebo effect when it comes to smoking and your metabolism and everything else that goes with that. So my body image issues definitely started when I was young, and for most people or most of my clients, their body image issues, they didn't just wake up with body image issues at 30. You don't just wake up with body image issues. It's a belief that you kind of get born into. A society, whether it's your family, a friend, your aunt, someone you look up to, a teacher, and their body beliefs kind of mold into your body beliefs. And, this actually starts from very young. And, some of the work I do with my clients, we go back and we understand where body beliefs and body image issues came from. One of my clients actually remembers back when she was 3 years old, she saw her mum standing in front of the mirror, and her mum said to herself, "I am such a fat pig." And from that day, my client, this 3-year-old little girl, adopted those words as her own. And by the time we started working together, she was almost in her 50s. She's been saying these words to herself for pretty much almost 50 years, right? So can you imagine that thought just looping in your mind? Now, what happens with thoughts is we normally, when we start hearing a thought for the first time, we will be aware of it. And then we might hear it again, and there's the awareness. But then we we desensitize from that thought, right? Because we've already heard that thought. So now all of a sudden, that thought is a loop that plays constantly in the back of your mind. It's just there. And you might not even know it's there because you don't have any awareness to that thought. So we have between 60 and 90,000 thoughts a day, of which 85% of thoughts are negative. And 90% of the thoughts you thought of yesterday, you think again today. Which means that if you had a negative body image thought yesterday, you are probably having that thought today, whether it is in your awareness or not. And most of the time it is not, until you see a reflection of yourself in the mirror, or until someone comments about a body, or they comment about your body, which no one has the right to do, by the way, or they comment about their own bodies, and all of a sudden all your body image issues kind of reflect back on yourself. So, there's just so much conditioning that goes into body image. And I grew up in the 80s, right? And I'm giving away my age here. Like, I was born in the 80s. So there was no social media, but we still had the cultural influence. I read fashion magazines from a very young age, and we had the fashion age with all the supermodels, and that's kind of where my inspiration of what the perfect body needed to look like came from. And nowadays we just have a lot more of that, right? We have social media, we have billboards, we have absolutely everything. It's so in your face. It's no wonder that we feel self-conscious about our bodies, and it's no wonder that we have this self-judgment about ourselves and about our bodies. And what I wanted to create for you today, my loves, is the fact that body image issues is not your fault. It's cultural conditioning from years and years and years and years. And that is awesome. That is just such good news, because that means that you, my love, can break that belief. And you can adapt a body image that is positive. And I'm not saying you need to be in love with your body. I come from a real body acceptance background where we accept that we have a body and we accept all the amazing things our bodies can do in a neutral way. And what that means is I have an arm. I don't have jiggly arms, for example. Or I have thighs. I don't have thunder thighs. And we appreciate function instead of appearance. And since I've adopted this, and once my clients start adopting this body acceptance, this is when we can find peace within ourselves. And a lot of times when we find peace within our bodies, we also find peace with food, right? It's almost like they are so intertwined, this relationship with food and relationship with body. It is almost like we just cannot separate those two things. However, they are two separate relationships. And, you know, what's happening in your body, whatever's happening in your body, does not mean that you deserve not to eat, that you need to purge, or that you deserve not to have happiness. Because that just doesn't make sense, my love. You are a being of light. You are just so beautiful and magnanimous. And it's just my hope in my heart that one day you will realize this. And I think one of the most amazing quotes I ever heard, and I can't remember now exactly who said it, but the quote was, and I'm probably going to mess it up, but the quote was, the day you die, no one is going to celebrate your weight. They are not going to say, Stella was an amazing person, she weighed X kilos. No, because at the end of the day, what's really important is the fact that you contributed to this world by being here in your presence, in your body. And you cannot do that without your body. Your body is your vessel for your own expression of love and kindness and compassion. So I will be on here tomorrow again, but I just wanted to share that today. Body image challenges are not your fault, and that means you can shift and change your beliefs and your feelings about your body. And yes, that's not going to happen overnight. For me, that took almost a year of coaching, and I kept hitting walls and limiting beliefs and all those kind of things. But eventually I came out on the other side. So it is possible for you, my love. And I just hope that this message reaches your heart or reaches someone's heart. If you think that this message will support someone else along the way, please share this message with them. All my love, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye, my loves.